Welcome back to another episode of One on One with Courtney Starks. This is your boy Courtney, and I thank you all for being here. The queen over here, I'm so excited to have her. She is an active duty military training instructor and health and wellness coach. Please make sure you are clapping your hands right now as we show some love to DeBlair Tate. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So when I think about active duty military trainer, I get exhausted. I'm like, oh my gosh, she gonna work my body out to the core. I think of all these extracurricular exercises and my stomach is hurting already. So talk to us about the journey to becoming an active duty military trainer, and what does an active duty military trainer even do?
Okay, so it's not what you think. So it's actually my job. I was a military training instructor for the Air Force First Sergeants. Okay. So basically, we train troops to go to their new position, and that does consist of physical, mental, the whole nines, just making sure logistically they're where they need to be, military wise, and just ensuring, because they're over the entire organization, the squadron, they're the leaders of the squadron. So we're making sure they're equipped with all the skills and tools they need to basically run a squadron.
Okay. All right. First of all, that's dope. That's amazing. How did you want to get involved in doing that role, doing that position? What inspired you to want to jump on board and do that?
So it doesn't work like that. There was just an opportunity that actually occurred. It wasn't my path. I was a first sergeant first for a long time, and my path to becoming that was so deranged that that's a whole journey in itself. Yes. But being a first sergeant for 5 years, and after I was a first sergeant, which means I was over the squadron with the chiefs and the commanders, I then transitioned to training first sergeants, right? So it was just my next career path. So it's like anything, when you're at a job, when it's time for you to progress, it's like, what is next for you? Yes. So that's my next level.
Nice. And you were able to then put your journey into a book called Resilient as Fuck. That is so boss. It is such a boss thing. Talk to us about the book, the inspiration behind the book, and what the title means for people.
So the inspiration behind the book was my journey through life, starting when I was back in the days, like in junior high, high school. So that was the inspiration. And, the military was only a small portion, because I felt like the military, I equated that with the reason why I was successful. My life changed because of me joining the military. Once you get a chance to read the book, you would see the path that I was going down, all the things that I encountered that for a lot of people, they would have probably broke or they basically lost it. So that was a negative connotation of resilience, because I was just like winging life and basically sweeping everything under the rug that happened to me, traumatic wise, getting in trouble, like dealing with family issues, things of that nature. So it was just a journey of like recommitting myself to becoming a healthy version of myself, and showing people what resiliency looks like in a healthy way.
Yeah. I know I wrote my book a while back, and for me, it was a healing journey, right? That I didn't know I needed. For you, did you find some sort of healing through all the trauma that you had to go through or you went through in your past? Was that a healing journey for you? And how did you process as you were writing your chapters?
Oh, that was the hardest thing I ever had to do, was go back and just think about what happened. Yeah. Because I never processed it. Once you're going through the motion, I don't know if you grew up in the South, but I know for us, when things happen, we didn't talk about it. We just moved forward. We got over it. We kept it in the house, whatever, and just even thinking back on some of the things that occurred. And I'm like, well, this is why I'm the way I am, because of it. But I never processed that until I went back and I had to put it into words, and I had to really, really think about it. I was like, I knew I needed therapy at that time. So It took a while to really just want to even put it out. That was the most probably traumatic thing I had to do, because I was very private.
Yes.
Put my life out there and to really process and take accountability and no longer sweep things under the rug, it was really difficult for me.
Mm-hmm. And not only do you now become the person who's advocating for those things, right? Like, okay, we're no longer going to allow these things to be swept under the rug. As a reader, I'm now looking at my life and I'm saying, okay, what do I have to change? So how did it feel? What does it feel like when you think of writing a book and what people consume and what they take away? What are you wanting people to take away when they finish reading such an amazing book?
I want them to know that their past does not dictate their future, right? Because a lot of us, we allow that. And it could sound so cliche, but a lot of us have past traumas and things that we are still holding on in the past that we're saying, I'm not like this because I didn't blank, blank, blank. So it's like, how long are you going to let the fact that you didn't grow up with your father or this happened? Like, you know, even molestation, that is very, very real. But how long are you going to let that hold on to you and cause you not to excel in life? Right? It gets to a point where we have to figure out our own way to heal, whether it's telling your story and using your life as a testimony to help someone else, but you should not allow it to be a hindrance to you. So that's the whole thing, like how to fight for what you deserve. It's time for you to not let these traumas, these issues or whatever prevent you from fighting for what you deserve in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Like at some point, somebody has to be the one to break that chain. We can't just keep operating in this continuum of what happened to us. We got to be the ones to break that so that way the other generations aren't free from even having to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You are also a health and wellness coach, and you hear that a lot, right? Everybody wants to be a health and wellness coach. You ate a little banana, had a little water, and now you're a coach. So talk about the process to becoming a coach. You're actually, those of you who don't know the story, she's certified to do this. And I like to say that because a lot of people have a little gym in the house, they got a little gym in the backyard, and you're doing things that are not like real. And it's causing a lot of, you know, for me, it causes confusion because like I know that's an Instagram poll. That's not gonna work for everybody. So for you, the inspiration behind wanting to just do so much more for the community and help others get back in shape and just be well. What was inspiring you to do that? And how do you see people progressing in their daily lives working with you?
Okay, of course. Thank you. So it started out as, this wasn't a journey for me. Like, so I started out when I moved to Atlanta, I'm competitive. So I was approached to do fitness competitions. So it started out with me competing, doing fitness competitions. And later it blossomed into me becoming a personal trainer. So I was a personal trainer for like 17 years before I transitioned into being a coach. So certified trainer, trained the best of them, you know, anybody, you know, multiple certifications, elderly, pregnancy, you name it, I did it, right? So after that, I no longer wanted to, it was more so stressing me because my life was committed to your life. So if you were my client, I couldn't really do anything because I need to make sure you're on your journey, your path. So I had hundreds of clients. So just imagine my life belonged to everybody else. So I wanted a way to continue to still help people, but where I was able to take charge of my life. So that's why I became a health and wellness coach. And I noticed throughout people's journey, it wasn't more so about them coming to the gym, just wanting to work out and lose weight. It was internally, it was mental. They were depressed. They didn't love themselves. So much was going on that causes them to want to look a certain type of way. And I started just dissecting and wanting to know more about the inside because I discovered that once you got the mental wellness part together, this physical part was easy. So that right there was nothing. I'm like, this physical you training, that is a small entity to what you really need. So I became certified. So I'm double certified as a life coach, health and wellness coach, nutritionist, and all of that because I wanted them to be helped. And that's why I created my program. More so because I'm from Mississippi and we're not as prone to doing what we're supposed to do back there. I grew up there. I know what we eat. I know, you know, like we're not as disciplined as we could be because it's not in our face all the time. So I wanted to be that person to help my city. So it started out with me helping my city and it just blossomed into so many other people wanting me to help them. So this was kind of accidental. It was like a passion. I was serving and it just grew into something like way bigger than me.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you said it, and I always say when people go, "Oh, it's by accident," I'm like, no, God does things in decency and in order. There's never an accident. You're always supposed to do the very thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? Just because he's ordained you to do so. You know what I mean? So I love that things just happen in alignment for you. And what are some tips that you can give to myself or the people who want to go on this health and this wellness journey? For a long time, for me personally, it's always been about trying to keep the weight off, but diets don't work. And I've realized that now. Diets are so temperamental, like they don't have any, there is no permanent date for them, right? It's always like, I'm going to start here, but then I get cut off here because whatever happened or whatever, I get lazy. What tips can you give us to just start and remain consistent?
You have to know why you're doing it, though. It has to be something greater than you. My biggest question for anybody to enter my program, because I no longer take anyone in my program, you have to be at a certain place mentally, and you have to know your why. So you just going to the gym, want to lose weight is not enough. Like, why are you doing it? Do you have, it's like when the doctor tells, let me tell you something, if you were having a birthday coming up, like for women, if you know you're getting ready to go on a yacht party and you want to look good, that's going to be your why, baby. You going to the gym every single day. You are not going to beat. So that is your why. But once that trip is over, you're back to your normal. You're normalizing your normal life. If you went to the doctor and he tells you that your A1C level is high and you're on the cusp of being pre-diabetic, you're going to get it together because you want your life. So that is your why. And it takes the doctor to tell you, for you to be like, okay, I got to get on my game. Anytime you're thinking about eating something crazy or not going to the gym, you're going to think about like, damn, I want to live. If that's what you prioritize, if that's your value. So that's what it is. You got to know your why. You got to figure out why. You got kids. You got to put it in perspective. Like, I need to be here for my kids. Like, if I'm not good, they're not going to be good. So that's what you got to do, because you can work out for 2 days and be like, oh, I'm going to do it later. You don't have a reason. Like you don't, you'll look in the mirror and be like, oh, I don't like what I look like, but you'll keep putting it off because you don't have a desire or a why that's bigger than you.
I love that. Your why. What does your value represent? Right? Like, what does your value say about who you are and what you're looking for? First of all, congratulations. I was reading right before we came on here that you were promoted to Chief Master Sergeant. So I know that's big, especially for people of color. And I know it's also a position that is normally held less than 1% for us. So how did that feel?
Where did you read that at? Because I haven't even put that out there yet.
I just do my homework. So first of all, how did you feel?
It hasn't happened yet, so I'll just you're to be the first one to break the story. It's official 1 October, and I haven't processed it yet. Actually, it is a huge deal in the military community. It's a great deal because that is the highest rank that you can achieve on the enlisted side of the house, and it is very unusual. It's not very typical for not only a woman but a Black woman to achieve that level of success in the United States Air Force. So I have not took time to process it yet. It's just still just like right here.
Yeah.
So you'd have to ask me once October 1st happened, and then I can probably give you that answer.
I love that. I do love that. First of all, I'm just so happy for you. I'm so happy for all of the things that you achieved. My question would be to you, right? You're here now. You're doing all these amazing things. What conversation would you have with the younger version of who you were, right? The young DeBlair Tate, who probably had all of these dreams and things that they wanted to do, but living in this small town where you're talking about the traumas and going through all of these battles to get to where you are right now. What would you say to her?
I didn't know what I wouldn't know. Today, I would just say, I probably wouldn't do all the things that I was doing. I probably would have pursued my dreams sooner. I probably would not have indulged in the type of things that I was indulging when I made better decisions, listen to my family, I feel like I made a good decision. I knew I had mentors, so I knew what I needed to do, but I was still caught up in what I wanted to do, right? So I probably would have just been more mindful of the type of things that I did in high school, right? I wouldn't have been such a bad kid, getting involved in gang activity and drugs and things of that nature. but that made me my story, that's my journey, and it created who I am. So that's the only thing I would probably just tell myself to start sooner and not feel like I couldn't do it, because I never dreamed big. I knew I wanted to do something great, but I never dreamed big. It was just like, I want to go to college. I just want to get out of here. I don't know exactly what I want to do, because I didn't have a reach. I didn't know what there was to do. I didn't know. I was in a small city and my reach was so small. So I was just kind of lost in a bubble,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So who would you thank, right, for allowing you the opportunity to be here, right? Like who has been here riding with you on this journey and sticking beside you? Who would you thank, and what would you say to them?
There's multiple people that did not give up on me. They stood by my side. I definitely would thank my family. My grandmother is no longer here with me. She was like my team number one. I could do no wrong in her eyes.
Yeah.
Definitely my mom, because she and I did not have the best relationship, and it was because she wanted the best for me, and we were at odds because I was fighting against what she knew was not a good path that I was going down. And I had multiple mentors and people like that saw potential in me, but I just bucked against the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned something about living in a small town, right, in Mississippi. And I'm pretty sure there are other little girls out there right now living in that town. What bit of advice can you give them when we speak about breaking curses and knowing your why and knowing the importance of your value? What can you say to them right now when they watch this back?
The good thing that they have going is that we have social media now, so they're able to see what's out there. You know what I mean? And just don't look at it as if it can't happen for you, because nobody is different than you. You dream big, whatever you want, you have to push to achieve it. You have to be intentional with your life, and don't feel like you can't achieve the success that you need. Don't let anything hold you back. Don't ever think that, oh, that could never be me. It could be you. And you have right now is such an amazing time to be successful, because all you have to do is reach out, make contact. You can become famous just being on social media than these days. Like you can go viral. So it's so much easier. We didn't have that, right? So it's just like, but my thing I would tell them too is just kind of be careful with the kind of success you have achieved, right? That's not good success. Make sure you ask God to order your steps, and that you're operating in that realm and not just trying to seek that type of like success and fame for the wrong reasons. Don't degrade or diminish your values to get there.
I love that. DeBlair, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day, being on the show and being so transparent. And thank you for allowing me to just give you your flowers. A lot of times people want to wait, right? Wait to the big success, until the big things happen. I believe they're big now. And we pray that they're bigger and they continue to be in abundance, because you deserve it all. So how can people follow you, and how can they get the book?
You definitely can follow me on social media, Instagram. I am DeBlair. And also if you go to my profile, everything is on there, how you can get the book. Order the book from me, I'll sign it. But if you go, it is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target, it's on all platforms, but you won't get the signature and handwritten note, but if you order it on my website, 8figure.com, you'll get it directly from me. My team will send it out, and I'll write you a little message, a motivational message. So that is how you can keep up with me.
DeBlair, please allow me the opportunity to say thank you once again for being here. Everybody, make sure you go ahead and you follow DeBlair Tate on her IG page, just because I said so. No other reason why. And I thank you all for watching another episode of One on One with Courtney Starks. I'll see you another time. I love you for watching.